would appear that Dogmatika, of all things, is stepping up this week. We have some more Minkanko featuring one of my favorite cards in Squawk! It's Flunderies. Alright, to the 30% of you that have not smashed the ever-loving crap out of that subscribe button, smash it so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. This is what we're going to call a Dogmatika pile of cards, because we're playing Nightmare Corrupt Purrely with Albazoa as a one-of, along with some of the other rituals for Dogmatika. Now, to be honest with you here, this idea isn't completely unheard of. I mean, we've already seen how good Albazoa has been for some of the ideas here on the TCG, just because, you know, being able to bring out a supercharged card that can wreck things out of your opponent's extra deck, and we know how good extra deck repping is in the current day and age, but it's not so crazy unheard of. So this is actually kind of cool. See that some other ideas and things are coming to fruition here for this. So we have 2 copies, Diviner of the Herald. We have 1 copy of Ishian, triple Ecclesia with 2 Flunderies. We have 1 Maximus, and then we're actually playing 1 Nexus. Can't tell you the last time we actually saw this card show up, but alright. We have 1 Gale Dogra, triple copies of Nightmare Corrupt Purrely, yep. Shenanigans for this. We have 2 copies of Magician Souls, 1 copy of Albazoa, 1 Illusion of Chaos with 1 White Knight of Dogmatika. We also have 1 White Relic, 1 Change of Heart with 2 copies of the Dogmatika Calamity, 2 copies of the Cabraseri, I never remember that name. We have the Matrix at 3, and then we have 1 Nadir Servant, triple pre-preparation of rights, 1 preparation of rights, and then we have triple Small World, 2 trade-in, 1 punishment, and 1 copy of the crazy Dogmatika Turgy. Down in the next deck, you have the 1 Scare Garden, 1 Almirage with 1 Linkaribo, 1 Cross Sheep, 1 Wind Pegasus, 1 Omega, triple Herald with 1 Lulu Walleth, 1 Titaniclad, 2 Titaniclad, 1 Grand Goggonal, and then 2 Anentis here, wrapping up your Dogmatika Ritual good stuff deck. Next up here is Minkanko Ritual Turbo with a lot of equip cards, featuring one of my favorite cards in the game. If there's 1 or more monsters on the field of the controller of this card, his or her opponent cannot place monsters on the field. And if the opponent would exceed that number of monsters on the field, they basically cannot. Alright? So yeah, this is actually pretty cool for what this card aims to do. It's Gladiator style. Force your opponent to battle your Minkanko monster, as if they could out it anyway. I mean, not like they're going to be able to. So we have triple copies of Diviner of the Heralds. We have 2 copies of Fure. We have 1 copy of Hare. Triple copies of Jizakuru with 1 copy of Magician Souls. We have 1 copy of Nini, 1 copy of Illusion of Chaos. We have triple copies of the Ohime, 1 copy of Axe of Fools, 1 copy of the Fascinating Bird, 1 copy of Double-Edged Sword, triple copies of Kaiser Coliseum. We have 1 Minkanko Fire Dance, 1 Minkanko Kagura, 1 Purification Dance, we have the 1 Reflection Rondo, and then we have 2 Water Aberesque. Then we have 2 Pot of Prosperity, triple copies of Preparation of Rites, your 2 copies of the Ceremony, 1 Promise, your 2 Rivalry, then we have 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, and triple copies of There Can Only Be One. God, TC Blue plus Kaiser Coliseum. Ugh. We have 1 Sprite Elf with 1 Celine. We have 1 Almirage with 1 Unicorn. 1 IP with 1 Dinah. We have 1 Dahark with 1 Access Code. 1 Arsenal Zeus. 1 Sheridan with a 1 Power Tool Brave Dragon. We have 2 Herald. 1 copy of Dawn Dragster and 1 Anentis. Side deck here we have triple Lancia. 2 Drone Lockbird. 1 Cosmic Cyclone. 2 Exceed Encore. 2 Evenly Matched. 2 Rivalry and triple copies of the Hand of God. Wrapping up your Minkanko good stuff, and I really do like what are some of the ideas that we're bringing to the table for this. Next up here is Purrely sporting off 1 Shaddoll Beast. Now the reason why I wanted to include this was we've seen a lot of cool ideas that the OCG is kind of bringing to the table here. This is, you have a Splash Shaddoll Beast. I've seen a Splash Dark World engine in here as well. Actually, it's kind of cool. Now that I kind of think about that, you know, as long as you have a self-sufficient engine to kind of get you, you know, further into the deck, like Volcanic Shell deck thins to fuel, you know, all of your spell cards here, it's actually pretty impressive to see just what little tech options and stuff that you can bring to the table for this. And I mean, this build is also sporting off Mudora and Keldo here as well. So, kind of interesting. So we have triple copies of Droll and Lockbird, one Keldo, triple copies of Maxi with two Mudora. We have triple copies of Purrely with two copies of Purrely Lily. We have one Shaddoll Beast with triple Dark Will No More. We have triple copies of My Friend Purrely with two Pot of Prosperity. We have triple copies of Delicious Memory. Triple copies of Happy Memory. We have triple Pretty Memory. Triple copies of Sleepy Memory. And then we have triple copies of the Straight Purrely Straight. One Thrust and one Purrely Leap. Down the extra, give the one Azalea, one Anima with one Protector. We have one Hark with one Sylvan Princess Sprite, one Assembled Nightingale, two copies of Nor, two copies of Plump, we have one Happiness, two Beauty with one Downard, and one Zeus. Side deck here, you have two copies of Nibiru, one copy of the Streamwood, triple Dimensional Fissure, one Harpy's Feather Duster, triple Dimensional Bear, two Evenly Matched, two Infinite Impermanents, and one copy is shifted on into Hyperdrive here, wrapping up your Purrely list. Remember, this deck is strictly good because this card being unaffected by your opponent's activated effects will has 5 or more materials is crazy good. This is literally just free win con mode engage. Next up here we have Runic. Now the thing that keeps me interested in Runic in the OCG is just seeing the ratios and things that they choose to play in this deck. It's always very interesting just to see the ideas and things that players bring to the table here that you might not really, I guess, consider all that much. It opens up so many cool ideas and things, because, I mean, obviously, like, the floodgates are going to be a good thing. You have card demise, and now because things have gotten as toxic as it is, this is the first time I've actually seen Max C seeing play in one of these Runic decks. Typically, most of these lists will just side the Max C, but I guess you may as well just draw as many resources as you can and just not even care, right? Even tell you they've extended the desires with the duality. So that's pretty interesting. So we have two copies of Maxi. We have triple copies of Card of Demise. Two Pot of Desires with two duality. We have triple Runic Destruction with one Dispelling. We have triple copies of Flashing Fire. Triple copies of the Fountain. We have triple copies of the Freezing Curses. We have one Golden Droplet with triple Slumber. We have one Smiting Storm. Triple of Just the Tip. One Terraforming. We also have triple Gozen, your triple Rivalry, your triple Skill Drain, and your one copy of There Can Only Be One. Down there in the next deck, we have the one Phoenix with the one Donner. We have one copy of Soul Sweeper. We have triple copies of Moonin, triple copies of Hugin, triple copies of Gary, and triple copies of Frecky. And then we have two copies of Ghost Ogie, one Maxi with triple copies of Space Rock. We have two Winged Dragon Ross Fear Mode, triple Dimensional Fissure, your one Feather Duster, one Droplet, and two copies of There Can Only Be One here. Wrapping up, about what you would expect out here in terms of the good stuff for this. I will tell you this, though. In terms of innovation and things, Runic still has it going. Alright, this deck still remains, by far, I think, one of the coolest builds out here for anti-meta. And then we have Flunderies. The reason why I like to bring these up is after the loss of Barrier Statue, you know, the crazy limitations the OCG actually has, you know, magnificent map going to one here. A lot of players are always kind of curious to know, how is this deck holding up versus, you know, the rest of, you know, the metagame? Well, this is what you're kind of seeing here, unfortunately. Not really a crazy shift between a lot of stuff, but still a lot of things that you would normally expect for this deck. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyce Ring, one DD Crow, because it's searchable. We have two Dimension Shifter with triple Eagle. We have one M-Pen with triple copies of Robina, one Stritch with one Toucan. We have triple copies of Maxi with one Apex Avian. We have two Mega Ryza with two copies of Dimensional Fissure. Triple copies of the Advent of Adventure with one Magnificent Map. We have one Gold Sark with triple copies of Duality. We have triple Extravagance with two Pot of Prosperity, your one Terraforming, your one Dreaming Town, and your triple Infinite Permanence. Extra in here you got the one Royal Goddess, one Celine, one Anima with one Ningarisu, one Lingaribo with one Nightmare Unicorn, one Nightmare Phoenix with one Dark, one Virus Swordsman, one Access Code, one Recital with one Promenade, and one Assembled. We also have one Downer, one Zeus. Then we have two Ghost Ogre, one Nibiru, two Retaliating Seat, triple Cosmic, Triple Dark Ruler with your one-dimensional fissure, your one Flunderies and Unexplored Winds, and 2 copies of Dimensional Barrier here. Wrapping up, well, your chunk of pretty interesting stuff out of the OCG this week. So what do you guys think about these goodies? Is there anything that you actually want to try? Please leave a comment down below. And of course, you know, it's always pretty weird out there in the metagame, but you guys stay safe out there, alright? Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.